What's up, my brothers and my sisters from another mister? So in this video, we're going to go into some of Gunslinger Spawn's most intense and brutal beast mode moments in no particular order. So let's get started. We're going to go back to where the first brutal and beast mode moment took place. Just a little backstory here for context. Jeremy Winston, the first Gunslinger Spawn, was a guy from a little old town in the Old West, Bane. And no, not Bane, the Batman villain, the town. He was a priest who owned a lot of property and was framed for the death of his own family by a guy named Ed Kemper in order for him to get his hands on Jeremy's property. Now, being framed from the death of his own family, he was sentenced to death, condemned to hang by his neck in front of the entire town. Prior to the execution, Mammon, a Malboja agent, contacted Jeremy Winston in his jail cell and offered him the chance to be endowed with abilities beyond his wildest fantasies. Winston accepted the offer. Even though Winston died while being hung, later he was reincarnated as an undead and formidable Hellspawn. The freshly reincarnated Gunslinger Spawn, imbued with power and recognizing the evil that had been done to him, decimated the entire town of Bane. And when I say decimated, I mean Gunslinger Spawn, formerly known as Jeremy Winston, enacted vengeance on every man, woman, and child. I'm just going to let these panels of Gunslinger Spawn going beast mode on the town of Bane while I mention that, yeah, it is pretty savage on what he does and the issue is definitely worth checking out. So all were slain except for Parker, who had assumed the name Henry Simmons. Gunslinger Spawn was going to end him, but he was spared by the order of Mammon. Mammon prophesied that Parker, now assuming the last name Simmons, Mammon knew that in him was a seed of a future Hellspawn that will make the whole world what Jeremy Winston did to the entire town of Bane. This spooked the heck out of Parker. He didn't know it then, but that is a reference to Al Simmons, aka Spawn, and what he will ultimately do in the end. Now, this is about Winston going beast mode on the entire town of Bane, all because of Ed Kemper's greed. Being framed for the murder of his family, no one in this town came to Jeremy Winston's defense. It was like the entire town was out to get him on behalf of Ed Kemper. So you are more than welcome to get the full story and breakdown of these events by checking out the full story breakdown I did on Spawn issue number 174 and 175 of the brutal and violent rise of Gunslinger Spawn. Now, for a long time, Gunslinger Spawn was absent from the series. He was introduced again a little over 100 issues later. He did so by assuming the body of a guy at a modern day pub, Javier. Now, Gunslinger Spawn, no matter how powerful he previously was, he required a new host, and that new host was Javier. So in Spawn issue 308, Winston possessing Javier's body was always intended to be a temporary solution, as a human body is incapable of handling the strength of a Spawn. Now, some time has passed and our boy Gunslinger Spawn had to unleash the savage and go beast mode again. Now, before we go into how Gunslinger Spawn went beast mode on this mofo, we're going to take it back a little bit just for context. Radcliffe Winterstone was born into the notorious Winterstone family, one of the many sons of a corrupt patriarch from the Old West. His family was infamous for their ruthless and savage ways, robbing the poor and abusing townsfolk to steal their cows and money. Radcliffe, however, held on to a glimmer of hope that things could be different, but the Winterstones caused the death of Gunslinger Spawn's family and corrupted his innocent little sister Amy. In the Gunslinger Spawn comics, that's the motivation for Javier going on a revenge path to avenge his sister Amy. Javier, now Gunslinger Spawn, sought revenge and wiped out the entire Winterstone clan except for Radcliffe. Little did he know that Radcliffe would later gain unimaginable powers and descend into madness. He would disguise himself as a helpless disabled man, biding his time until Thesis brought him out of retirement with shocking news. And that shocking news was Gunslinger Spawn was alive and well in the present. This revelation triggered Radcliffe's transformation into his true form, a monstrous being fueled by rage and bloodlust. During the events of Gunslinger Spawn, Radcliffe went on a killing spree, slaying several ancient warriors with brutal efficiency. He spared one. However, he spared that one in reason to search for Gunslinger Spawn and deliver a message. And that message was the Winterstones never forget and they always get their revenge. Radcliffe's wrath knew no bounds as he ripped off the wing of a fallen female angel, driving her to the brink of insanity. But he showed her mercy though, because he's a nice guy like that, granting her a quick death. So in his relentless pursuit of vengeance, Radcliffe ambushed and attacked Taylor, a close ally of Gunslinger Spawn. Finally, he came face to face with the man who killed his family. But as the two engaged in a brutal fight, Radcliffe revealed his true identity as a Winterstone, relishing in the shock and horror on Gunslinger Spawn's face. Oh, but Gunslinger Spawn had another agenda. He demanded to know where the rest of his enemies were hiding. In a moment of cruel deception, Radcliffe decapitated Gunslinger Spawn by ripping his head off of his shoulders, only to discover that it was a decoy. And that's one of Gunslinger Spawn's powers, which is deception. The real battle began, with Gunslinger Spawn determined to put an end to Radcliffe's reign of terror. Despite his powers, Radcliffe was no match for Gunslinger's skills and marksmanship. He was eventually reduced to nothing more than a lifeless, bullet-riddled corpse, and that's a fitting end for a monster like him. If that ain't beast mode, I don't know what is, but you gotta show respect to that beast mode moment right there. Last but not least, Gunslinger unleashes the beast mode on Heaven's Angels. Now, Gunslinger Spawn goes down the list of names of enemies that destroyed his life. One by one, he takes them out. What angers our boy the most is how easily Heaven and Hell are able to track him down so easily. As of the recording of this video, that is one of the mysteries in the comic, but it makes for great entertainment as he is just in a constant battle with them while on a revenge battle of his own. Now, during his barrage of attacks, this Juggernaut Angel emerges and goes to work on Gunslinger. Other angels surround him. Outnumbered, he knows he can't win this fight, and the angels know that too. So in Gunslinger Spawn's beast mode moment, he lights it up, because if he's going down, he's gonna take them with him too. The dynamite goes off and the huge explosion causes damage for everyone involved. So when the dust settles, literally, I mean it settles, Juggernaut Angel emerges from the rubble and he whips Gunslinger Spawn to the point where Gunslinger Spawn is seeing Amy in the form of a hallucination. More angels come into the fold and ambush Gunslinger. They do more damage to our boy in a brutal way that leaves him immobile, and Juggernaut Angel takes a huge rock and attempts to bash Gunslinger Spawn head into the ground. For those that may not know, one of the ways to truly take a Hellspawn's life is you'll have to decapitate them. In this case, the Juggernaut Angel is going to bash his head to the ground just to debris and pulp. Even though that is not his real name, I mean, the name fits him in my opinion. And like the video and comment below and let me know your thoughts on that. So Gunslinger Spawn gets saved by the speedster Focus. He's Image version of the Flash. So adrenaline kicks into Gunslinger Spawn full throttle and he takes out the biggest threat of the Angel attack. He takes down the Juggernaut Angel by unlocking his inner beast mode, but there's only so much power he has. He runs low on power by taking out the biggest angel, the Juggernaut Angel. Desperation kicks in and he needs to escape because his power levels are going down and he has to save himself to fight another day. So he rips off his wings and takes flight. In my opinion, he did all that he could in this fight, and going beast mode by ripping the angel wings and placing them on his back to take flight is gangster in my opinion. We already know there will be another encounter and there is no telling what kind of beast mode attacks we will witness by then. So there you have it, some of Gunslinger Spawn's most intense and brutal beast mode moments. Now look, Gunslinger Spawn is not a character to be trifled with. Even though he is considered the weakest out of the Hellspawns, what makes him different and gangster is his resourcefulness when it comes to battle. Not to mention the Gunslinger Spawn comic books is straight up gangster and well worth your time. Feel free to check out the playlist at the end of this video, you'll thank me later. Now what you guys think of the video, comment below, let me know. But link in description if you wish to purchase any of these comic books or some of our Rated Comics exclusives to add to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry, and support your comic book collection. And also, this video is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description or donate to the Super Thanks. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to Rated Comics YouTube channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.